What's up, happy people, and welcome as always to the Spotlight on South Baltimore on Facebook Live. Today, as always, we're going to talk about all the things that are done at the Employment Connection Center in South Baltimore, as well as we're going to look at the big picture, talk about some different things that are going on throughout the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. And, since it's a South Baltimore centric, we're going to talk about a brand new business that's going to be opening up soon. It's a secret. Not going to tell you who it is quite yet. And we're also going to bring in our partners from Port Covington. We're going to have Andre Beckles here today, and he's going to talk about an event that we're partnering with tomorrow down in Port Covington to make people aware of what's going on. And we have some great employers coming and some workshops. So as always, what we would like for you to do is comment, like, and share this video on your Facebook pages. Talk to your family and friends, anybody that's looking for new job opportunities, anybody that's looking for training or career changes, let us know. And if I haven't introduced myself, my name is Bill Carnes, and I've been a BSR with the agency going over 16 years. Started off at the Mondawmin location, mainly doing reentry, working with our Justice Involved folks. And about 4 years ago, I moved over to the South Baltimore Employment Connection Center on Bush Street, which I absolutely love. South Baltimore boys, so I'm happy to be back in my home turf, helping the businesses and the community folks in Westport, Cherry Hill, Brooklyn, Pigtown, all those great areas. So before we get started, we're going to go do a little PowerPoint for you, talk about, it's been a while since we've done a show. So I want to let everybody know how to get in touch with us. We're open for foot traffic. We want people to start coming back in. So Katanya, you want to throw up a slide for me? Give me 1 second. We're having a little bit of issues with our PowerPoint. But I want to let everybody know that we're located at 1410 Bush Street in South Baltimore. We're literally about 2 blocks away from the Horseshoe Casino, right off of Russell Street. So we're in between Carroll Park and the Horseshoe, if you're familiar with that area. We're in the Union Hall with the ASME folks, great partners. We have lots of space. We do quite a few events there all the time. What we would like folks to do, we absolutely accept walk-ins, but some of our services are only done on certain days. So if you're interested in talking to our folks, we need you to come into the center. Please call ahead of time. The number is 410-396-1052. As soon as we get our PowerPoint up and running, I'll be able to show you that. We also, here we go. We just need to backtrack a little bit. Not quite ready for Topgolf. You let the cat out of the bag, Tanya. I wasn't going to tell anybody who the employer was going to be. But yes, we have a brand new business opening up next to Horseshoe Casino, Topgolf. And we'll get into that soon. All right. Next slide, please. So just real quickly, for those of you who are joining the show for the first time, we've been around at that center since 2015. What we concentrate on in that particular area is working with manufacturing, transportation, entertainment, and hospitality, which I'll talk about. We're really starting to blow up in the South Baltimore area for hospitality. Healthcare, of course, we have quite a few hospitals and healthcare facilities in the area. Construction's happening all the time. So lots of great core businesses are in the South Baltimore area. So we like to say we're the best kept secret in South Baltimore, but I really don't want that to happen. I want people to see us as a destination. And again, what we do is we connect the different neighborhoods together, because South Baltimore, like all Baltimore, is known for neighborhoods. So we work with all the various neighborhoods within the South Baltimore footprint. Okay. And so if we can go to the next slide, this is pretty much talking about what we were doing and how we help people. Anybody at all can come see us. You don't have to be a resident of South Baltimore, but we help with job readiness, assessments, resumes, application help. I'm there to get you to employers, and we have employers on site, and we do pretty well with it. Last year, even though we were coming off of COVID, we had one of our best years ever in terms of placements. We had well over 300 people placed in the South Baltimore area last year, which is really good for a center of our size. Okay. So again, we are still open. We would like for you to call for appointments, and employers are absolutely hiring. We send out job leads. If you're a customer and you're not getting job leads from us, please let us know. And we still post a bunch of our jobs on the Maryland Workforce Exchange and on our Now Hiring job board. Okay. All right. Next slide. So just again, to reiterate, we have two core customers. We work with our job seekers and our employers. Our employers, what we want to do is have targeted events. We're really, really big on pre-screening. We don't believe in trying to put people that aren't a good fit with certain companies. So pre-screening is something that MOED is excellent at, and that's why we have long-term relationships with our employers. We post all the jobs for our customers, and as far as for our job seekers, we'll help you with resume and interview preparation. We'll help you with computer literacy. There's all kinds of great stuff. We have years and years of experience with our center. We're doing a lot of great trainings in-house. There's tons of free trainings. So give us a call, stop by, and we can absolutely help you if you're looking for a career change or you just need a job. All right. So that's with the introduction. So if for those of you in the South Baltimore area, if you go back, and I'm an old dog, so I remember the area where the M&T Bank Stadium is and Horseshoe Casino, how that used to be. Folks, in 2 to 3 years, that is going to be a state-of-the-art, world-renowned entertainment arts district. They're going to have Topgolf next to Horseshoe Casino. And they're also building a 4,000-seat theater called the Paramount Theater. And if you've been by there lately, it's almost halfway up. I mean, they are putting that thing up quickly. The old Hammerjacks has reestablished a location right down the street. So that place is going to be hopping. It's going to be such a cool district. And, as part of our thing with South Baltimore, we're trying to highlight businesses that want to give back to Baltimore. And I had the pleasure of meeting with the folks at Topgolf a couple of weeks ago. And I'm going to tell you, I meet with a lot of companies. This particular organization really, when they say they look out for their employees and they're an employee-based company, no doubt about it. If those of you know about Topgolf, they're one of the biggest, entertainment centers. It's really just a place to socialize, hit a couple golf balls. They have a restaurant. It's really, really cool. I'm going to let Asa talk about that in a second. But they're going to bring over 500 jobs to the Baltimore area, which is fantastic. They've already hired close to 300 people. And, we're targeting, opening sometime soon. I'm not going to get into details with that yet. Asa, you want to come on with me? If we can bring Asa on. What we're going to talk about today is how Topgolf sees themselves in the neighborhood, what they have planned for us, and all the cool things that Topgolf is going to bring to Baltimore. Mr. Jefferson, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for inviting me on the show. I
Absolutely.
really appreciate it.
And we were at an event last night, and you guys made me dance. And I got to tell you, it takes a lot for me. And hopefully there weren't no cameras, because I'm not a good line dancer. Myself and Miss Catania Lester were there. And it was really what I found fascinating when you're doing an interview session is you really try to get to know people as people. You know what I mean? And you're more concerned about personality than actually skill set, because you can always teach people how to do something. But you want people to have a good fit and be fit into like a good teamwork thing. I thought that was a fascinating thing to see. So that's something I'm going to talk about. How you want your folks to be part of the Baltimore community. I think that's the coolest
Yes.
thing ever. I really like that. So, but first of all, I want everybody to know who Asa Jefferson is and how your journey came from where you began to Top Golf.
Well, I'm a Baltimore boy, just like most of the people watching this show. Um, I started in culinary. I worked at restaurants in the county and everything. And then I got the opportunity to open up the PF Chang's in Towson. And I worked there, became a line lead, moved myself up the ranks. And then I worked for another local business, the power plant company. I worked at Power Plant Live, managed there, was a chef there. And then I left there. And for the past 7 years, I've been an executive chef for Iron Rooster, which led me on the path to becoming the executive chef at Topgolf. I try to keep everything as local as possible.
Okay. And so, how did you find out about Top Golf and they were hiring? How'd that come about?
So I've always working for the Iron Rooster. We were opened up a store in Locust Point, so we've always
Oh,
like
wait a
first.
minute. Did you say Lucas Point?
Yep.
That's where I grew up. Okay,
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
So we put a store in McHenry Road
Okay,
and everything.
awesome.
And we were always looking for the future that we saw, like talking to the developers and stuff around there
Hmm.
about what was coming. And Top Golf was on the list. So I knew Top Golf was coming to Baltimore. The pandemic and stuff, I guess, slowed it down. But I randomly got a call from Topgolf. They asked me to come talk to them, and I did. And what you saw last night is what I saw firsthand in my
Okay.
interview. They were asking me about what books I read, what TV
Can you
shows
can you
I like.
talk about the interview process? Because I found that fascinating. So just talk
So
about what
yeah.
someone expects, for someone to expect if they're going to get an interview with you guys.
Well, if you have an interview at Top Golf, you're definitely going to have fun. I always tell everybody to come for a party and to just come with an open mind. It's one of those things. We're going to ask you about your life. We're going to ask you about the people that pushed you to want to move forward with your life. And we're going to have you dance. We're going to show you through the people that are in those interviews that
Mhm.
there's definitely an opportunity, not just to be at this Top Golf, but to spread your wings and move on with your career. And whether it's with Top Golf or somewhere else, Top Golf is always looking to push their employees and staff forward.
For those of us out there that don't know what Top Golf is, can you talk about, you're obviously a nationwide company, you have tons of locations, and I think you just have a partnership with a major golf sponsor, which is Callaway, which is a big
Yep.
deal. You want to
Yep.
talk a little bit about, the corporate structure and what exactly Top Golf is?
So Top Golf is an entertainment company. It was started by two gentlemen in England who were avid golfers, and they wanted to actually see how far their golf balls went instead of guesstimating. And anybody who golfs knows they have that friend that says, "Oh, I hit it 350 yards," and we all know they only hit it 200. So they decided to put microchips in golf balls, and it started like that. And the first one that they opened in the United States was in Alexandria, Virginia, and it spread where Baltimore is going to be about number 80. And what they realized with that whole system was people didn't just want to hit golf balls. They wanted to spend time with their family and friends. And so they made it a game where you can actually go and compete with your family and friends, have some good food, have some good drinks, and also walk around, maybe play some air hockey and do other things that we have to offer within the venue. It's a very family forward venue, and but you can also have business there. We have event spaces for businesses and conference rooms and stuff like that.
Okay. And you don't have to be a golfer to have a good time at Top Golf because the food is top notch. It's a nice restaurant bar. It's almost like a sports bar. I was looking at some of
Yep,
the plans. And there's a ton of like arcade games and just stuff to do there.
definitely. Top Golf wants you to feel like you're at home. So if you want a game on, we have multiple televisions with different sporting events and other things going on. We have bars at every level. We really want you to be entertained in every section of that venue, wherever you're at. There's really not a dull moment when you're in Top Golf.
And how many people? How big? What's the maximum capacity for that particular location? How many people can that hold at one time? I'm just curious.
Oh my goodness, I'm trying to think. So don't hold me to these numbers.
Okay.
But I have been at venues where there were over 500 people in the venue
Wow.
at one time.
Okay. All hitting golf balls. That's a lot of golf balls, man.
We have about 92 bays to hit golf balls. And
Okay.
so we average about 6 person per bay, plus the restaurants, the event
Right.
spaces. A lot of people can fit in there and outside.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So with that, I'm assuming that you guys are going to hire quite a few people, right? I think I heard the number 500 and up. Is that about
We're
right? You're
looking
already almost halfway there. You've hired
right.
about 300 people so far. Is that about right?
A great number would be 600.
Oh,
Right
wow.
now,
Okay.
we're at about 350 as of last night.
Okay.
We're splitting that up between the different positions that people could apply for. You know me, being an executive chef, I'm
Right.
specifically looking for the kitchen, but we have so many other positions like bay host.
Well, Asa, actually, we're going to bring it up on the board. If you could talk a
Oh,
little bit about each position that we have available, can you do that for me?
I
So,
definitely can.
so let's
So
talk about the servers. What makes a good server at Topgolf?
a good server is someone who's an open, friendly, willing to listen, and that they're very attentive to the people in front of them.
Okay. And we also need bartenders.
Bartenders, they're the ones that are going to make all the specialty cocktails that we have on our menu. We need to staff a lot of bartenders due to the multiple bars that we have in our building.
Mm-hmm.
Bartenders, I always look at bartenders like an extension of the kitchen because they have to stay on top of their recipes just like my cooks do. So we're gonna need someone who's very intricate and follows the directions of the recipes that we have written for our bar drinks.
Okay. Actually, we're going to start. I have a couple questions. Number one,
Yeah,
the location is going to be on Warner Street. Do you have the exact street address? I think
I
it's going to
do.
be. Yep. Go ahead.
It's 1411 Warner Street,
Yep.
Baltimore, Maryland, 21230.
And it's right next to the Horseshoe Casino and across from the football stadium. So it's real
Yeah,
easy to get to. If you're taking the light rail, public transportation, it's literally about a quarter-mile walk. It's very easy to get to. And of course,
we have.
everybody knows how to get to the Horseshoe.
Yep.
I have a good question. How you doing, Chris? I see Chris is out in the audience. He wants to know, and this is right up your alley. So we're going to have some seafood, some crabs and stuff because it's Baltimore, right? Are we going to have regional cuisine there? Asa, what do you
We're
think?
going to start off. Actually, thank you for the question, Chris.
And that's a
We're going
great
to
question, Chris.
We're gonna start off with our just normal set cuisine, but actually how they do that is they have a chopped style competition like the TV show where all the executives go out and pitch their regional cuisine, and that's how we get the regional on the menu. So don't worry, Chris. I'm gonna push for crab cakes, crab balls, crab dip. We gotta keep the blue crabs in Top Golf is what I've been saying.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. And okay, Chris says he likes to eat. We all do. I actually have been to a Top Golf before in Germantown. It's good food. I wouldn't call it bar food. It's definitely not bar food. It's good food.
And we
So,
have some menu changes coming that I 90% sure everybody will be
right.
happy with.
Okay. All right. So now I always see this all the time, bussers and runners. Tell me the difference between the two.
Busser stays on top of the table. If they see any empty glasses, any empty dishes, they clear the table so the players can order more food, more drink, and they just have space just to breathe and think.
Okay.
The food runner or the runner position is so we can keep the server attentive with the table. They run all the food and utensils. They make sure the food is dropped to the right bay or
Right.
right table. They are what I would call the first captain to the server.
Right. Okay. And I saw that you need a lot of runners. This the activity, behind the scenes. It's
Yep.
constantly moving pieces, and the thing is to get out the food as quickly as possible. I think you guys got that down pretty good. I really will say that. You don't have to wait a long time at top golf to get served. You guys got it down to a science. Talk a little bit about the guest services because I know those folks are very, very important to your folks coming in.
Guest services do everything.
Right.
They are there to make sure you have the right clubs in your hands. They take reservations. They are selling retail. They are the first person you see when you walk in the door. Guest services should always greet you with a smile and be very open and knowledgeable of what's going on within the company.
Okay. All right. So we're up your alley, cooks. And I will say, so we're not going to disclose wages, but I am going to tell you that when you go for the interview, they're going to talk about that. Top Golf has I was very impressed with your wages. I'll just leave it at that. You
We're
guys are
competitive.
very, very competitive. Very competitive.
We're
So,
definitely competitive. Wages for all of the non-tip positions and even the tip. Um, what I'm looking for in a cook is someone who's on time and someone that's just willing to learn. Me and my chef team, we've gotten together and decided like it really doesn't matter the experience. Technical can be taught to anyone. We just want somebody that wants to be part of our team and really is actually excited about being part of the revitalization of the South Baltimore area and be part of something that's going to be here past when I'm not here. Something that's
right.
just going to be a monument almost.
Okay. So let's look a little bit of the back of the house stuff. Dishwashers and porters,
Yeah.
very, very important positions. Yeah.
Yes. Um, the dishwashers and the porters almost maintain everything going on. If it wasn't for the dishwashers and the porters, you guys wouldn't be like, this is such a beautiful building.
Yeah.
They are, if I don't have dishwashers and porters and people who want to work hard and just get a little dirty, we wouldn't even be able to function as a company. They are the backbone to my kitchen operations.
Okay. All right. So Chris has another question. Have you worked with Groundwork Kitchen for potential employees yet? That's one of our nonprofits that we work with. If not, we'll make sure we make that connection.
No, I have my executive sous chef out there trying to make all these connections. But I definitely appreciate that, Chris, because when I get off of this, Groundwork Kitchens is another company I'm going to reach out to.
Okay. And we have, I know it's Paul's Place that's connected with that. So you and I
Right.
have been talking. I got some nonprofits for you coming up. So, but
Definitely.
thanks, Chris, for Groundwork, because that's one that I did not have on my list. I appreciate that. All right. So we got a couple more positions. We need office administrators, facilities management, maintenance tech. So all those golf balls are going out into the sky, into the net. So
Right.
so the people that drive the little tractors that everybody tries to hit? Is that a maintenance person? What are those positions called?
That's actually in our facilities department.
Okay.
And it's something you won't just be doing that. And I
Okay.
can't really get into it because of the technology, and
Okay.
Topgolf is at the forefront of the technology. I will just say that becoming working facilities at Topgolf is one of the fastest ways to move into the IT position. And
Okay.
also because you learn it from the ground up when you work facilities and ever. And like there's so many things that these facilities guys are doing behind the scenes that make Top Golf run. And they are probably, besides my dishwashers and porters, they're the ones that stay on top of all my equipment in the kitchen
Okay.
also. So I will always pat facilities on the back and be there for them.
And one of the things that I thought that was really cool, and especially with the environment that we're in right now, lots of people come to us looking for second jobs or part-time jobs. And when we were speaking yesterday at the event, you have a lot of part-time opportunities for people. So let's talk about that. So weekends, night work, that's awesome.
We definitely have night work. We close at 1:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. We also are looking for part-time. And one of the things that we do for part-time employees is we also offer part-time benefits. So you can get a
That's awesome.
part-time job with us if you work in the morning, take a nap, hang out in the afternoon, and come hang out with us in the evening. Know you have benefits and make a competitive wage, and also have fun with us. Maybe do the keep it shuffle a few times, but just have a really good time. It's I've been pushing for a lot of part time and talking to a lot of people that are like, hey, come work a second job, come hang out. It's a great thing.
Folks will definitely be interested in that. I know especially in the hospitality field. There's a
Right?
lot of bartenders and servers that are always looking for second gigs, especially bartenders.
Definitely.
So we're going to push that out to everybody. I'm glad you told us about that. So let's talk about the benefits. You guys have a great benefits package for your full-time and part-time folks. Can you get to a little bit of specifics for us?
I would say we in Maryland where we do Blue Cross Blue Shield and everything, but the benefits are amazing. We have life insurance. We also offer an FSA for commuters. So if you're commuting on the bus or need an Uber or a Lyft, we have an FSA program for that. If you're in need, we also help you set up to file for benefits, whether they're leave, if you need go on leave. And we also have people that will help you file for your EBT or SNAP benefits also. We try to let everybody, we don't discriminate. And so we know we have people coming from all walks of life working for us, and we try to have programs set up for everybody and every type of community that would be working with us in our building.
Okay, fantastic. So the recruiting is going to go on at least for another couple months. It seems like early. All right, we're going to. And
Even
great,
in interview, we're gonna
yeah.
keep
The
pushing.
great thing is we're coming in partnering with you guys a little bit later, but we're going to continue to partner after you guys are open, which we're
Yep.
really looking forward to. Because once the name gets out, I think we'll have lots of folks interested, and once they see actually what you guys do over there, which is it's going to be pretty unique to Baltimore.
Right.
It's going to be a spot that everybody's going to want to go to. I can't wait. So
It's gonna be crazy. We have the biggest build in Top Golf history.
yeah.
So Top Golf, the company, put all the stops into what we're bringing to Baltimore. Everything is top of the line.
Okay. Oh, and Anime, thank you so much because I was going to bring that up. So you have positions for young folks too. So let's talk about the age requirements, and at certain ages you can do certain things, which is phenomenal. Want to talk a little bit
Right.
about that? Yep.
What? So in my kitchen, you have to be 18 to work in the kitchen. Unless you're a dishwasher, you can be 16. Um,
Yep.
we have, that's why for like the young kids, we try to, the 16-year-olds to 17, we try to get them to be food runners, and working in GS services, golf services, stuff like that, so they can get into the company. If you want to work in the kitchen, I would suggest food runner, and then you get to know the menu because you're running that food to the tables. And then when you turn of age, we can transition you into the kitchen and stuff like that. Um, Other than that, the age requirements are 21 to bartend, 18 for just about everything else. And there's no cap on the age once you're over 21. We, we will hire somebody who's 95 if they want to come work for us.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Fantastic. Well, I got to tell you, I could talk to you all day. You know that. I
Well,
mean,
this is
we've
fun.
had some great conversations. So you're going to be actually, I'm getting ready to talk about our next event, which is Port Covington.
Yes.
So I will see you tomorrow at the Port Covington event. We're going to talk about some cooks.
I'm definitely excited, and I'm excited
Yeah.
to meet everybody that comes to the event tomorrow.
Miss Risa says she's 95. We're still cool with that, right?
100%. 100%. Come
You
visit
took
me.
the photo. We're absolutely fine with that.
Yep.
Yeah. And then May wants to know if they applied, how would that work if they're in school? So obviously the positions will be after school hours, right?
It would be after school hours. I would ask for a work permit, and then we would follow all state guidelines on how many hours that person can work a week
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that. We follow all state laws when it comes to minor employees.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So if anybody has any questions or resumes, send them to me because I'm going to see my guy tomorrow. I
Yep.
already got a folder full of resumes for us to go over for cooks tomorrow. I can't wait. And again, thank you. Your organization has been great, and we're really looking forward to partnering with you. See
No,
you.
I really appreciate it, and thank you for having me on the show, and thank you, South Baltimore.
All right. We'll see you
Yep.
tomorrow.
Yep.
All right. Fantastic. So always excited about new businesses opening up. And so in conjunction, I know a lot of you have heard about all the great stuff that's happening in the Port Covington area. And so we're about to do a partnership with our folks from MOED that work with the Port Covington project. If we can bring Andre Beckles up next. And Andre has been with the agency quite a while.
Hey, good afternoon, guys.
What's up, Andre? How you doing?
Well,
I think this is your second time on the show, right? I think.
Might be. Yeah, it might be.
Might be. So, and again, Mr. Jefferson, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. You can sign off. So, Andre, what we would like to do, and I'm going to turn it over to you. We got an exciting new partnership tomorrow. We're going to be doing some job readiness. We're going to be doing some workshops. We'll have clothing assistants. We're going to have some employers there tomorrow down at your location near Port Covington. So I'm going to let you take it away.
I appreciate it, Bill. Just to introduce myself, my name is Andre Beckles. I am the Port Covington Local Hiring Law Project Coordinator. So pretty much I make sure all the contractors on the Port Covington project adhere to Baltimore City hiring law. And then a large part of my position is to make sure opportunities come to Port Covington and also making sure that South Baltimore residents get those opportunities. So it's great to be on the show today.
Okay. Awesome.
So, Port Covington update. We can go to the next slide. So this is a large overview of the Port Covington project. It's one of the largest urban revitalization. That word always trips me up.
No worries.
In the United States. So pretty much it's the largest development right now that's going on in the United States. It's 235 acres, 18 million square feet. So as of right now, 1 million square feet has been developed, and it's still 14 more million square feet to be developed, and then the rest is just the surrounding area. We have 40 acres of parks and green space, 3 direct access points to I-95. Yeah, 3 direct access points to I-95. So if everybody doesn't know where Port Covington is right under Fells Point, Federal Hill area, Locust Point, Port Covington, as we know, and there's actually some few things going to be changing this coming soon. We might not be calling it Port Covington for long. So I'll just drop that tip in there. And it's right across the Hanover Street Bridge across from Harbor Hospital.
So Andre, great, Marcia, you're really giving us great questions, and I know you want to talk about this. She wants to know if there's going to be any affordable housing.
You beat me to it. It's already in the PowerPoint. But yes, there's going to be affordable housing. I'll just go ahead and jump ahead of myself. It's actually going to be 20% affordable housing. So it's going to be an estimate of about 100 affordable units in the Port Covington area. So that's a great opportunity for South Baltimore residents, or just a great opportunity for anybody that wants to live in the area to be able to get property there. So if we can go ahead and next slide, I'll probably go into a little bit more, but what we have right here is what we see today, Port Covington. On the first picture, we have City Garage. That used to be the old bus depot, but they changed it up. And now City Garage, what we call it. And there's a lot of incubators in there where businesses come in and have that office space to pretty much start their businesses up. And then the next one, I believe this is an overview of Jazzy Summer Nights. It's a great event that we have 5 times a year, starting in June all the way to October, pretty much just bringing in local talent. And it's a great space to enjoy yourselves and to congregate with one another. Then we have Sagamore Distillery. It's a beautiful distillery that we have here. It's actually where they make the Sagamore beverages, and then also where they distribute all of the items. And then we have in this bottom corner, we actually have the yoga sessions. They hold weekly on the property that is open and welcoming and pretty much free to anyone that wants to partake in. And then we have Under Armour, the Under Armour facility. We all know, not much explanation there. A powerhouse when it comes to athletic clothing, and it's founded here in Baltimore. And the last one we have is Nick's Fish House. Good old Nick's. I know Bill and I have been there a few times, and Nick's is a great place. And we do what we can to support their business and to bring more attraction down there to Port Covington. What I wanted, the direct access. So everybody, now you can see exactly where Port Covington is. I know a lot of chatter, a lot of buzzwords going around, Port Covington this, Port Covington that, but some people actually didn't know where it is. So now you can see exactly where it is. And it is, I know a lot of people like to refer it to the old Sam's Club that was there. So that's exactly where the Port Covington project, that's the footprint. So you see the access to 95 and the distances there. It is from the airport, from DC, from New York and Philadelphia. And of course, from the harbor. All right, so it's a lot of money going on. That's the reason why it is one of the largest developments. It's a lot of money. So we have $15 million of citywide community initiatives, $10 million of business and economics, $25 million for workforce development. So that means pretty much just bringing opportunities not only to South Baltimore, but just to Baltimore in itself. Bringing opportunities, attracting businesses, and also erecting a center that will pretty much being able to house all of the services that not only MOED has, but also that Port Covington will be bringing. We've given, at this point, we've given $10 million to 7 communities. So, Bill, if I forget any of them, help me out. We have Lakeland, Cherry Hill, Westport, Mount Wannon, Curtis Bay, and Brooklyn. There we go. I got them all. So at this point, we've given $10 million to the 6 communities. And then there is an additional $29 million that's going to be given to the communities in the following years. We have $2.5 million to the education initiatives, $1.5 million to YouthWorks. So pretty much just funding youth work positions around the property and then around Baltimore. And then 20% affordable units. We'll touch a little bit on that one in the next slide. That I haven't already spoke on, and then $7.6 million for after school and summer programs. So all of this money, Bill, it's a lot going on down there. A lot of
absolutely. And so couple questions. Marcia wanted to know, as far as the housing, affordable housing, is it for purchase or for rent?
It's for rent.
Okay. And Chris wants to know, is there going to be an MOED center on site at Port Covington?
There won't be an MOED center. There will be staff. Well, of course, myself, I'll be down there at the Port Covington project. And so whenever any opportunities that are there, any services that are needed, I'll be able to provide those. but there won't be an actual MOED center. It's actually what we're calling the Port Covington Workforce Opportunity Center. So pretty much anything that workforce related when it comes to customer needs, we'll be able to provide.
But what we've already started doing is doing outreach in the communities as partners. So, and we'll talk about the event that we're having tomorrow pretty soon. So,
I'm excited too.
Best for last. Okay.
Yes,
the next slide, please.
Affordable units. So I'm not sure if the actual number is here, but the affordable units is based off the area median income. So we have 80% of the affordable units of the properties there, and then it's 50% AMI or 30% AMI according to the area median income. So that's Cherry Hill, Brooklyn, anything or anybody in the SB6, and then also like Federal Hill, Pigtown, downtown, anything in that vicinity as well. So it's pretty much the area median income of pretty much the entire South Baltimore region, and families that fit into that criteria will be eligible for the properties there.
And you don't have to be a city resident to purchase or rent from there, correct?
No, you don't.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, Risa, for that question.
Indeed. Yeah. And so the management companies haven't been publicized yet, but they're all aware of the requirements that they have to abide by when it comes to affordable housing. So for my last check, I believe it was either 90 affordable units, and that is the 20%. So I'm not going to do the math right now. It was like 89, 90, and that times 5, and that would be the total sum of the amount of apartments that they have. All right, and then this is a quick overview of the project. So we see here, we have Baltimore Sun. That's the big building right there on the left. And then all the individual buildings, everything that's in blue are office spaces. Everything that's in red are residential units. So we have 5 residential units, but right now that have currently been built in Chapter 1 or Phase 1 is E5, E6, and those numbers are small. But and then E1, all of the residential buildings that have been built. And then the ones next to it, the ones in blue, are the ones that are currently been built. And like I said, this is only Phase 1. So we have Phase 2 and throughout. So all of the other buildings that are color-coded around it in the surrounding areas, those are going to be being erect in the following years. So I say by 2025, I believe all of these buildings will be built. But what we have right here in the footprint of the yellow dotted lines, that's what's currently complete. Yep. And here,
I know you mentioned it before. Can you just go over the affordable housing, what the qualifications are as far as the baselines for the affordable housing? Ms. Risa got in a little bit late, so I know you mentioned that before.
Got you. Myself, I don't particularly know the requirements for the affordable units. I just know it's based on the area median income and pretty much how much you make as a family. So if it's a one-person family, there's a certain number that has to be, or that there's a cap on a certain number of revenue that should occur, and then 2 family, 3 family, 4 family, and then it just increases from there. So no, affordable units or just the AMI is not a specialty of mine, but we do have people on the project that they do specialize in that, and everything will be fair.
So are these considered voucher units? I think that's correct, right? There are 20% voucher units. Does that sound about right? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds about right. And there's more information that will be exposed, more information that will be unveiled. At this point, that's just not a specialty of mine when it comes to the AMI or any of the vouchers, and when it comes to the actual housing on the property.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And then what we have, can we go back one? All right, and then what we have here are pretty much the pictures of all of the buildings. And I know Bill and I actually took the whole MOED team down there, employee services, and they've actually seen these buildings, and they're very, very similar to these pictures. And I
was amazed how far along it is. I mean, these are really, and the fact that they're going to be doing mixed, with the mixed income, it's a very ambitious project. It's going to be pretty cool. There's a stadium. I don't know if you mentioned that, there's actually a sports facility. And I couldn't believe it was already up. It's almost like 60-70% completed. There's a high performance center. It's a really cool place. And I want to say, like, there's like 3 or 4 different development phases. So it's like what, a 15-20 year project. It's crazy how long of a project this is. What's the exact numbers on that, Andre?
I believe it's a 15-year project.
Okay.
There is a lot of development and a lot of progress going on. So even when the site does open up, I believe the site is open up in the first quarter next year. Even when it opens up, there's still going to be development. So we don't have to wait 10 years to get onto this project.
Right.
We're going to be on site. It's going to be open to job seekers. It's going to be open to residents. It's going to be for leasing and everything. But of course, there's still going to be more development as time goes on. Okay. So like Bill just talked about the sporting complex, Under Armour actually they're building a new stadium down there. So I know if you drive by, you can see it. I believe so. But yes, they're building a new stadium down there.
Yep. Okay.
So what we have in here in the pictures, just the different buildings. So we have E7, it's the office building, and we call them E's just to differentiate it for the contractors. So that's a straight office building, and then we have a residential building, E5B, and these all have specific names to them. We just didn't release the names yet because it's still under development and it's still information that's sensitive. And then we have another residential building, office space, and then a residential plus garage. So I know it's a question like, developing all this space, so where people want to park. It's a huge parking garage that is going to be built in conjoining with the residential building that that residents and that people that just want to come down to the project or come down to Port Covington, they'll be able to park in.
Okay. All right. So we're actually, the time is flying by. We're almost up with our hour. So we got an event going on tomorrow, Andre. Let's talk about it. So yes. What we try to do is, if anybody knows that they work with MOED, all the different centers, we try to partner with each other when we ever have different sectors or different availabilities. So Port Covington and SBECC, we're doing a little event tomorrow. You want to talk about it?
Yep. So we have an event tomorrow. We call it South Baltimore Workforce Event. An event is pretty much inviting South Baltimore residents or just anybody in the region to come down. We're offering services. So we have professional development services, interview prep, resume prep, and job readiness and job matching. So all of that's going on down there at Port Covington tomorrow. Just inviting Baltimore City residents out to offer the services and to bring a little bit more traction to the project, to also get the name out there. I know people hear the word Port Covington is buzzing, but we actually have services and, want to offer those services to Baltimore City residents and also to get exposure to the project. And of course, Bill is Bill and his team is assisting me with the project, and they're actually a great help. I don't think I'll be able to pull it off without them.
Thank you. Well, we want to mention the employer. So we're going to have employers on board tomorrow looking for folks.
Yes, we
so we tried to make it close to the Cherry Hill, Port Covington area. So I have a new, and Baltimore, Baltimore County, we don't care where you're from. If you need a job, come down and see us tomorrow. It doesn't matter. But we're going to try to highlight, because of what we do, we're trying to highlight South Baltimore businesses and industries. Harbor Hospital, who I've worked with, Matt and the team over there. I just recently was able to meet some more of the folks that hire specific recruiters. We've mainly been working with the CNA, GNAs, and phlebotomists. But I know in the Cherry Hill Westport area, a lot of people have asked me, well, hey, I'd like to, some entry level. Do you have dietary positions? Do you have floor tech, EVS, stuff like that? And the answer is yes. In fact, tomorrow we'll have somebody from Harbor Hospital. They'll be looking for folks for dietary and for EVS. So these are good entry level positions, very competitive wages. So look forward to having that. As we talked about earlier, my guy Asa from Topgolf is going to be there tomorrow, looking for all his various stuff. And Transdev, which a lot of people don't know about. Transdev works with the MTA. They're the paratransit vehicle provider. They've literally hired, they're right down the street from us in Wycomico Street. they've hired close to 100 people from us over the past 4 months. And here's the event that we were talking about for the South Baltimore Workforce event. And they pay $20 an hour, and all you need is a Class C license. You have to go through a background check for MTA. But if anybody has seen the mobility vehicles before, that is what the paratransit people do. And they have $1,000 sign-on bonus. So we're going to have 3 good employers. We're going to have folks to help you out with your resume. It's just going to be a really, really great event. Anything else you want to add to that? And tell people about the location, because it's a little bit off of Hanover.
So, yes, a little bit off.
Where it is.
So if anybody knows where City Garage is, it's in the building behind City Garage. We call it Impact Village. It's a great space actually, but it's just behind Impact Village. It's 250 West Dickman Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21230. So if you do come to the location, you find yourself at City Garage. If you find yourself at the MAG Partners building, it's directly behind it.
Okay. And also, and thank you to my guy from the apprenticeship team, Lewis Monk. There's going to be an event at Port Covington at the MAG Partners building on the 26th. I don't know if you were aware of this one or not. So this is with our apprenticeship team, and Senator Corey McRae is going to be there. Do you have anything to add about that particular event, Andre?
I know this event, they're trying to attract different businesses there to pretty much promote the apprenticeship opportunities that we have. So not only on the MOED side, but also with the MAG partnership side, pretty much promoting the apprenticeship opportunities and just a nice networking event as well.
Yeah. And, so what you're going to see over the next couple months, we're going to have a lot of events in the Port Covington area, in the Cherry Hill, Westport area, and in our center. So, if anybody has any workforce partners that they want us to work with, or any community associations, or having events, please let us know about it. Andre and I will travel. Ain't no doubt about it.
Yes,
just let us know, because we want to get the word out. There's going to be so much cool things happening. Hi, Kiara. Appreciate you joining us today. So anything else you want to add about tomorrow's event? I think we're going to start at 10 o'clock, correct?
Yep, we start at 10 o'clock. So I would advise people to come at 10 o'clock, and just so they can hear all of the services that we have to offer and actually experience the services. And they definitely don't want to miss the employers speaking. That's a great way to, one, get your name out there to those employers, and then also to make sure that you get the best opportunity that you can. So 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And
I get this question all the time. Are they hiring? Yes, you have to go through a process. Some people are going to ask you to apply online. Some are going to have paper applications tomorrow. Some you might even get a short interview. Okay, yeah,
but they are hiring. That's the exactly reason why we invited them tomorrow. They definitely are hiring.
Andre, did you see what Kiara just said about you? You don't like Martin?
Oh my gosh!
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that offline. Kiara, you're not supposed to put that out to everybody.
She got me.
She got you. All right. That's pretty funny. Or we'll have to talk about that next show. We got to figure out why you don't like Martin. But all kidding aside, anybody that's in our listening area, and again, when we're talking about Topgolf, we got jobs for 16-year-olds, folks. Let's get lots of people out there tomorrow. And if you need help with your resume, we've got our team from the South Baltimore Employment Connection Center that's going to be there, help you with employment readiness, career. We've got folks that are going to help you with career navigation, things like that. If you're not sure what you want to do, we have lots of great trainings that we can talk about. So we got the doors open. Hopefully we get lots of folks from the area coming down tomorrow. So anything else you want to add, Andre?
I feel like we covered it all. I just hope to see you guys out there tomorrow. It's going to be a great event and great opportunities.
Fantastic job. Okay, so we're almost finished, because it looks like time's flying by. Almost done with our hour. I think Katanya might have another event or two that she needs us to talk about. And Andre, you can add anything you want that that's going on in the area.
Got you.
Let's see. So this is the part where we do the community connection. It's not necessarily with South Baltimore, with things we know coming up. Memorial Plaza on the 24th. Looks like we're going to have an event. It's good music, good food, good fun. This is in association with the Mayor's Office of Employment Development and Charm City Live. The only one I know off that group is where I'm going to age myself. I do know Joe. And I think I know Rebecca Black. That's about it. Do you know any other groups that are Do you know any of those
I do
folks?
know. I do know Joe.
Okay.
Stokely.
Okay.
Kelly Price sounds very familiar, but we all know Stokely. If you see his face, you're like, oh yeah.
This is going to be a cool event. So I'm assuming it's a free event from 12 to 8 down at the War Memorial Plaza. And so we want folks to get out there. You're going to see lots of events at War Memorial and in our surrounding areas. Lots of job fairs coming up. And I think we also have one other event that Katani wanted us to talk about. Okay, yeah, it's the Mid-Atlantic Health Expo.
Yeah.
So that's going to be it's free to all ages, and it's a one-stop shop for better health care for folks. And, you know, I remember they used to do the one down at the Baltimore Convention Center. There were folks that used that to actually get their checkups, to give you free blood pressure. They have people to help you with diabetes care. They have eye care providers, CPR training, organic food retailers. They always have nutritionists, family wellness, gym and equipment. So if you guys can get out to Laurel, these events are always really good, and they always have tons of good giveaways. So if anybody can make it out there, try to get to the Health Expo, Mid-Atlantic Health Expo.
Yep. Health is wellness. That's something that I always tell people.
Oh, and Katani was telling me that there's like a robot that's going to be there that can do surgery. I don't know that a lot about it, but that sounds crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, technology is advancing, though.
Huh?
A lot of things. I say technology is advancing.
Yeah, they're going to have a 2:00 demo with a robot doing surgery. How cool is that? That's just amazing.
Yeah, so, we turn around, right. See robots doing everything.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's about it. So again, we've laid out a lot of information to you today. Please feel free to call us at the SBECC at 410-396-1052. We have a general mailbox, ecc@oedworks.com. Do you have a phone number you can put out, Andre, for your Port Covington location?
We don't have a phone number, but I can definitely give you guys my email address. Is
okay.
Andre,
Go ahead and do that. Yep.
Andre.beckles@baltimorecity.gov. So if you have any questions,
and we're going to see Andre on the show on a regular basis. He doesn't know it, but we're going to talk about all the cool stuff that we have coming up. And thanks again for you guys doing it. Let me make sure we don't have any more questions or comments. No, we're good. Thank you, Kiara, for all the kind words. And again, look for us. We're going to be doing this once a month. We're having major job events and job fairs throughout the city. Please stay in touch with us, folks. I'm going to tell you, the market is just flooded with good paying jobs right now. Now is the time to be a job seeker. We're talking about really great sustainable jobs. So anything you want to add, Andre?
I'm just saying we got to get back to work. I know a lot of people out here looking for opportunities. There are opportunities out here. We just need to get back to work, get Baltimore back to work by any means.
I need some job seekers. I got the jobs. I just need people. Please come see us. We got lots and lots of work.
Yep. We know at points in time there was a lot of job seekers out here, but not opportunities.
Yep.
Most is reverse. So let's just get everybody back to work.
And at the end of the show, I do have to say one more thing. Hey, Ravens, let's do a little bit better next week. I was at that game on Sunday. We're just going to pretend it didn't happen. Go Ravens. Let's beat Bill Belichick next week. All right. Mm-hmm. And everybody have a great day. And seriously, I hope to see a bunch of folks over at Port Covington tomorrow. We're looking forward to seeing you.
Yes, we are.
All right.
I appreciate you guys.
All right. Everybody have a great day and appreciate you guys coming on.
All right. See you.
Peace out. Yep. Everybody take care.